I was compelled to jump on here and do an energy update, forecast, reflection. I finally got to get some sun codes outside. It's been beautiful here in Kentucky the last few days. It's finally warming up, and I'm a bit of a sun worshiper, so I've been craving the sun. But yeah, I was just inspired today after, just getting some fresh air, receiving the downloads, doing all the self-care practices that I know to do before sharing, because it feels more efficient to be able to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and share the live that's going on right now. So please just give me a moment to share this on my Facebook. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so grateful. Let's see, it's not letting me do it. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and share. There we go. To Facebook and happening now. All right, guys. Before we get started on this, for whoever's a vibrational match for the live or whenever you see this, let's go ahead and take some deep breaths. If you want, grab a crystal. I've got my labradorite right here that I just love, that I actually charged out in the sun. I've got my quartz crystal for amplification. So if you want to, go ahead and grab some tools, grab a cup of tea, coffee, kombucha, whatever it is, because we're going to play. We're going to speak astrology. We're going to talk some energy for the mid-month April as we're approaching Taurus. And then we're going to be looking at what's coming up with May and just do some reflections. I'm being called to pull a card for each sign, Aries through Pisces. So if you're here, let's play. Let's definitely connect, and let's see what Spirit has to say, or our source self energy has to say today. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let me just finish sharing the live now, because life is better live. I've been doing a lot of editing, which is fine. We all want to be perfect. The perfectionist, that's definitely Virgo South Node, right? It's like, we want to be perfect. But at the same time, we want to be organic, and life is live. It's happening right now, real time. So we're going to get over our perfectionistic, or I'm going to get over my perfectionistic tendencies. And we're just going to kind of explore the energies. Now, again, if you are here, I've taken a quick break or a quick breath. Let's just breathe together. Again, just setting intention for you, whoever comes across this video at every now moment, that you may receive some quickening of your spirit, of your inner guidance, to have just a better experience of this world by just understanding yourself a little bit more, and by understanding cosmology. The channel of Livzenastrology comes from all is self, that there is nothing outside of you that's happening that's not a direct inner reflection of what's going on the internal landscape of your being. So here in these reflections, we are here to empower, inspire, and just connect you to the oneness, because separation is an illusion. So the intention of all the words and all the reflections is to unite you and to unify you into that field of energy, that all is one, that you are connected to something probably ineffable, which we call source, God, the divine, the field of energy, whatever it is. So these are just some cosmological activations, words, stories per each sign to help you navigate these energies with a little more grace and ease. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this conversation. And what I want to screen share, first of all, I've been using ChatGPT to help me, again, more efficient. We're in South Node Virgo. It's all about efficiency and path of least resistance. So what I did is I asked ChatGPT to give me just some of the major transits between now and May. And we're going to look over that really quickly and just kind of highlight some things. And then we're going to look at the chart as well and see how that could possibly be playing itself out for you. So this is the format. Again, take some deep breaths, get you a cup of tea, cup of coffee, kombucha, and let's play with some astrology. Okay, so I'm going to screen share, first of all, what I've got highlighted per ChatGPT. And we're going to just share, again, more efficient, some of the energies. So we can see today, April 18th, that Mars actually is entering Leo. And so we know that Mars has been in Cancer, which is watery, it's emotional. You think of like Mars, how it likes action, how it likes to move, but it's been moving in retrograde and for several months back into Cancer, which is water, which is our emotions, right? So it's been moving some emotional patterns. And because the moon is also ruled by the fourth house Cancer, it has to do with familial patterning, right? The patterning not only of our own individuated selves, but patterns from our ancestors, from past incarnations, lifetimes. So we've had to really go inwards. Mars had to go in and really get move its action towards embodying its emotional nature. And it may not be comfortable there. You know, Mars just likes to move and be outward. It's an outward expression, right? It's more masculine. But in Cancer, it's had to be more of the receiver, receiving the energy and then repatterning ancestral codes within you. But we've broken free from that now. We've gotten out of that cycle. We've moved out of the water, and now we're moving into fire, which is spirit. And we know in Leo, it's about creativity. It rules the fifth house. It also rules the heart, right? So any creations at this time, especially starting right now with the 18th moving forward until it ingresses into Virgo, which will be happening in about 6 weeks. Right now is the time to create from the heart of the inner child. So all you fixed signs out there, your Leos, Scorpios, Aquarius, who's the other fixed sign? Taurus, thank you. You guys are really going to be feeling it. You're going to be feeling the need to create. There's going to be an opposition happening with Pluto, which is, I don't think it's here, but we'll be looking at the chart in just a few minutes. This opposition energy is requiring us, the opposing forces is saying, hey, there needs to be some sort of change or movement with how you've been creating for yourself. This is Leo, your individual creations, and then how you create for the collective, how you can be inspired to create for your friends, family, groups, organizations, your hopes, dreams, and wishes. This is all 11th house Aquarius, right? So we're really going to be feeling that activation starting today, April 18th, and then moving into April 19th, the sun enters Taurus. This is where we're really going to, you know, in Aries, it's about initiation. It's an angle sign. It's the first house, right? So it rules an angular part of the chart, which wants to take action and initiate something. And now moving into Taurus, the sun is saying, okay, I'm ready to ground it in. You had all these creative ideas, all these new aha activations where you wanted to take action, and now Taurus is like, let's take daily action routine to ground it in, but to slow down, because Taurus is it's much slower. It's fixed earth, where Aries is cardinal fire, right? So again, we're switching elements, and the elements is saying ground it into your body first with your daily practices, with your breath, right? Getting into the feeling state of your body, because in the field of consciousness is the phi, it's the feeling, right? So quantum is actually not in so much in the mind. The mind's just a radio receiver. It's how we process the energy and integrate it into our bodies. So this is what Taurus is going to be really emphasizing, and it's going to be pushing out anything that's been imbalanced or out of sync with nature. So getting out to nature, grounding. This is why I feel so jazzed and inspired today, because I went out and got some sun, right? Sun's information, it's data. It's it's receiving from the field of energy, like we are the radio stations picking up on these frequencies, these waves. So we can do that better and more clearly, right? We can get more of a clear connection if we're fully in our bodies. So this is what Taurus season is going to be, really having us slow down, integrate, breathe, and feel good in our bodies, whatever that means for you, without again, there's a polarity with everything. Also, maybe looking at your addictive tendencies, where you just want to feel good all the time, and then maybe the chemistry you've been using that's been feeling good is now shifting and changing. So you may have to reevaluate what you eat, your environment, all the physical senses. This is going to be up for focus beginning on the 19th and 20th, because then we also have Earth Day, which is on the 20th. So this is also a signal that we've been telling ourselves. We've given ourselves this gift of Earth Day to say, look, go plant a seed. If you want to know how to grow something, if you want to know which part of your consciousness is growing, there is a method to it. And Earth is showing this, that method, right? From the beginning of how we take a seed, we plant it, we water it, it germinates, it grows. This is how ideas, our own creative life force energy operates. So if you can actually go and physically plant a seed and then take care of that seed as if it's your creation, whether it's a business, whether it's family, a home, a job, a career, a relationship, whatever that you're seeding at this point, which you've cultivated back in Aries when you had these new aha ideas of what you wanted to create. Now is the time to ground it in and actually do the action steps with Earth to show you and to teach you patience. That yes, we're in a quantum realm and everything can happen exponentially and in the now, but we're on the Earth plane where things are slower, right? The Earth has the slowest vibration, 7.82 hertz. So we've got to slow down and really take joy into the creative process. If we've never been a grower or never planted anything, this is the time to learn to be the responsible steward, right? To be the grower, the sacred grower. And then going on to the 21st, so Venus enters Aries, and Venus is our love and money planet. It's our values. It's what we find beautiful. And going into Aries, it's first of all, rules the self. So you might be feeling really the need to take care of yourself more, right? Venus likes to feel good, right? So this might be time to get a new haircut, to go shopping, again, to revamp yourself, first house, and to figure out what makes you feel good. What invokes your love frequency? Venus is all about love and pleasure. And so in Aries, it's like, look, I like to start stuff that makes me feel good. New practices, new relationships, new jobs, wherever it is transiting in your house system, this is going to be all individuated, but we're all feeling these energies as a collective. It's just where it shows up for you, right? So, and also Aries is very direct. So you might find yourself, being a little more bold, a little more flamboyant, taking chances in love that maybe have been uncomfortable to you up until now. So this is Aries really saying, I want something different, and I want something different in my love, my values, how I choose to beautify my life, how I choose to beautify my body, first house. And so this could be an exploration and new codes of Venus and how it shows up for you. Okay, so then we get the 25th of April, Mercury enters Taurus. This is great for practical grounded communication. Again, Mercury is our mind. It's how we think. It's our language. It's how we communicate. And Taurus, it's slow. It's grounded. It's fixed. It's meticulous, right? It takes its time with things. So even as I'm describing the energy, I'm slowing down my tone. And that's what's really being called for. So Mercury is saying, hey, you started, we're just coming out of Aries season. You started a lot of projects and got a lot of clarity about what you want to begin. And now let's slow our breath, let's slow down our nervous system, and let's bring it into the field, right? Just like Earth, just like nature, just like the seed. You can't force it to grow any faster than it's gonna. It has a process to it. And this is also South Node Virgo, which is right now, everything's a process. So we're learning these new processes within ourselves and integrating it in our lives in a different way, maybe that we've never seen before. Because again, we've got some major transits happening. The outer planets, the transpersonal planets are shifting gears, moving from primarily, water and earth going into air and fire. So we're also feeling that collective shift as well. So we might be seeing things brand new, even our gardens. I'm thinking of ecoculture and using copper to plant our gardens. So we're going to be integrating these new technologies, maybe using drones to plant seeds instead of, being at war and using it in a malevolent way. So these are just ideas that are coming through, especially since Uranus is still in Taurus, and it will be until June, July, and then it's going to be shifting gears going into Gemini, and that's going to be a whole nother conversation. But for now, Uranus is saying, look, see yourself, the earth, in a new way that's related to you. It's connected to you, to your nervous system, to how you operate, because you and earth, us and earth, we're intimately connected, and connected in ways we never have been able to see before or have been able to process before. But now science, who are the new preachers, the new priests of science, are talking quantum now, and they're talking, we're looking at, that we are connected to everything, and the field of earth is part of that connectivity. And we may have never been taught that or seen that before. So now, again, having new conversations, new aha moments. This is Pluto and Aquarius, higher mind, higher level awareness about what frequency, vibration. And we know the earth vibrates. We know we vibrate. We know that the planets vibrate. We know everything's vibration, right? This is what Tesla's been talking about the whole time. So understanding these vibrational patterns in terms of cymatics in terms of water. I've actually been working a lot with water and Veda Austin's crystallography. You guys can check that out. That literally water will vibrate at where you're vibrating. It will have a conversation with you based on where you're vibrating. It's really powerful stuff. So anyway, this is also the water bearer, and this is also Aquarius, coming out of the depths of our emotional nature, and we now have new awareness about how our operating system works, right? It's based on feeling. It's not just mind. It's actually connection to the body, where we feel from, like thinking like tentacles, right? And mycelium. The mycelium connectivities are all over our bodies. The neural networks, the neural pathways, it's all inside of us. So again, we are starting to see ourselves in connection to nature, to Gaia, to each other in a whole new way. This is about transiting more from leaving the competition model of Aries and moving more into the cooperation, connectivity, symbiosis, a synchronicity model, which is more of the feminine moving into Earth, right? So you can see here, this is the rest of the screen. You go ahead and take a screenshot for what's going on for the rest of the months, because I really want to look at the chart on this too, to see how it's. So here are the dates. We've got the 27th moon in Taurus. This is a new moon. New moons are really good to ritual. Again, take that seed and go and plant it. So that would be a really good time, because new moons are all about new seed points. So take that seed and watch how the seed grows, and know that that's how your creative life force energy is growing as well. There is a synchronicity to it. So as above, so below. So take care of nurture what you're growing, because that's also showing how you nurture and take care of your body, your projects, your new creative energies. If you're pregnant out there, this is a very fertile time for if you're wanting to start a family, or you're just really wanting to give birth to something new. A new creative life force momentum is happening in Taurus season. This is the time for it to grow. Then on the 30th, Venus is now going to be entering Taurus. So Venus is moving pretty quickly, and she's going to be, again, Venus's ruling planet or Taurus's ruling planet is Venus. So Venus likes to be in Taurus. Venus is going to take a lot of action and feel really good and grounded in the body during this time. So depending on where this is at in your chart, you could be very proactive. And again, doing things that are more sensual, eating different types of foods, allowing yourself to maybe get massages, right? Massage yourself, maybe hug yourself, talk to yourself kindly. This is all Venus. Really love your body and your senses during this time, because again, you're connected to Gaia. And the more you can love and feel good in your body, that's the better Gaia feels in her body, right? Because we are deeply connected to her in that way. And then we're moving into May. So this is where you're going to see some of the energies here. May, Mercury's entering to Gemini. So this is where it's really going to shift gears. Mercury loves to be in Gemini because that's its ruling planet. So you're going to have a lot of communications, a lot of aha moments. This is really good time to journal, because you're going to be getting things it's fast paced, it's quick-witted. So you might be, hanging out with neighbors more, groups, your next door neighbor, family. This is all third house matters, which rules Gemini and Mercury. So you might be communicating a lot more beginning in May. And these communications are important. Again, it's happening so quickly, you might want to journal or write some of these ideas down, because Mercury is, again, very quick. And in Gemini, it's like lightning fast information. And on the 18th, Mars is going to be entering Virgo. So again, Mars has been in Cancer for so long, and water, now it's going to be speeding up and building momentum into fire, which is our spirit, creativity. And then it's going to be grounding it into Virgo. Again, another earth sign where things get grounded, brought into material forms. That's going to be your Taurus, your Virgo, and your Capricorn. That's what grounds it into the physical, it brings it into physical form. So you're going to be having a need. Mars is like, okay, I had these creative ideas in Aries. Now I'm taking action step and learning how to grow these ideas in Taurus. And with Virgo, now I'm going to be learning efficiency. I'm going to be learning the process of how all this works, right? This is very much Virgo. It's about processes. It's about learning how to be efficient, right? The path of least resistance. But the negative side of Virgo could be nitpicky and perfectionistic. So again, it's not about being perfect, but it's about the process and learning to practice the perfection which we may never reach because there's no such thing as perfection, but it's the perfect practice at this point, okay? On May 20th, the sun enters Gemini. Again, the sun now is focused. The sun is our life force, vitality, energy, and it's going to be shining through Gemini. So again, this is very much the communication planet. We're really going to have the need to talk, which even as I'm speaking about it, I'm speeding up my language. I even just tuning into the energies, my body starts reflecting it. So again, you're really going to want to be more social during this time. May is the month of mothers. It's Mother's Day is in May too. So really tuning into your divine feminine and be really extra special, kind to your neighbors, your siblings, hanging out with your friends, groups, things on the everyday, short trips, give yourself some treats to maybe some short trips to the springs, or doing something fun with friends during this time. And then the full moon in Scorpio, which is following on the 21st, that's going to be that's where you're going to evaluating, because Scorpio is about release, transforming, and full moons are about releasing. So you might be seeing that there might be some relationship shifting during this time where maybe, you had some conflict with some family members or some siblings, especially, or neighbors. You're going through some transformative energies with your everyday groups, people that you associate with you on the everyday, right? So Scorpio, you're going to get bold, you're going to get deep, and that's okay. There might be some really deep conversations had during this time, and that's good. That means you're getting to the heart of the matter, right? It's not about superficiality, although Gemini can be very superficial. But during this time period with the full moon in Scorpio, there's no superficiality about it. It's going to be deep, it's going to be penetrative, and you might have some revelations that are brought to your attention from your friends, family, from your siblings, right? Some sort of aha moments. You're like, "Whoa, I never knew that," right? And I never knew that's how you felt. So just be open, because again, Venus, where it's at in Taurus, it's helping you to ground in and helping you to regulate your nervous system. So the truth really wants to be told during this time. Just be open for it. Try to refrain from judgment as much as possible, and just really be in the now moment with the energy as it presents itself. Because again, we've never been here as a consciousness collectively, especially with Neptune and Aries and Saturn getting ready to transit into Aries. These energies have never been seen before by humanity. So give yourself some grace with perhaps these unfamiliar ideas or thoughts, or the depths of where your soul really wants to take you. And it's going to be through your relationships, through perhaps your family, your siblings, right? So just allow yourself to experience something in a new way, knowing you are held, and that the changes that are happening, the conversations that are happening, they're happening for you, for your benefit, okay? For our evolution and for our deep transformation, because that's what Scorpio is demanding. And then we're going into May 22nd. Venus is going to be, again, speeding along. She's going to be entering into Gemini now. And where Venus is going to be in Gemini, again, she likes to talk a lot. She likes things fast. She likes quick communication. So this would be a great time, especially if you're a content creator or an entrepreneur, to get your ideas out and get them out fast, right? Really start making those connections. Venus rules love and money, and Gemini rules everyday mercantile, right? Merchants, transactions, business, again, everyday communication. So there might be a lot coming through at this time. And on May 24th, Mercury is going to be entering Cancer. So when Mercury is in Gemini, it was like quicksilver, quick-witted, fast communications. Well, now it's going to be slowing down, and it's going to be speaking more about emotions. Again, Mercury is the mind, how it communicates. And in Cancer, it's about feeling, it's about sensitivity. So the conversations might be coded with more, "I feel this." You can pay attention to the energies when you start off a sentence with, "I think that," well, "I think" is Mercury. And then sometimes when you start off a conversation, you can go, "Well, I feel that." That's the moon, right? That's Cancer. So just pay attention to how you're speaking during this time and what really wants to come through. Again, journaling during this time would be fantastic, because a lot of your emotional nature is coming out through your words. So positive affirmations, words to self. We're actually going to be doing some mantra cards after this. I'm going to be doing, again, a collective card pull after this reflection point. So you guys can deep dive and go more into your own sign and how this is going to be showing up for you again for the next 6 weeks. That's what it's intended, mid-April all the way to May for this energy update. And then we're going into May 27th, where Mars is going to be entering Libra. Again, our action planet is going to be wanting balance. And anywhere we've been at imbalance, Mars is going to be pointed focus and say, you know what? You got to get in balance, either with what you eat, what you consume with, how you act every day, your habits, your routines, your relationships. Where are you balancing these energies? You might want to look to see where Mars is in Libra in your chart, and that's going to point to the action you're going to be taking to rebalance your nervous system and rebalance all your relationship patterns during this time, because things are changing pretty quickly. So Mars is saying, look, we want you to focus on your relationships, and anywhere you've been out of balance, either giving too much or receiving too much, or not allowing that reciprocity, right, to flow clearly. That's what's really going to be shown at the end of May. And then coming into the last day of May, May 30th, this is where we're going into our solstice. This is going to be our summer solstice energy right before the solstice on the 21st. So this is where the sun is going to be entering Cancer. And again, going back into the root system, right? Our family, our sense of security. We're really seeing this on the collective stage, and I'll be curious to see when June, and we'll go more into that at another energy update, when Saturn shifts sign into Aries. And so really the conversation is about literally homeland security, homeland safety, matters of food, of energy production, things that make us feel safe, the home, housing situations. These are all going to be the focus coming up in June. So this is kind of the entry point to that. And I'm going to go ahead and stop share. And I'm going to go ahead and share with you also, while we're doing this, while we're looking at this energy, I wanted to share with you the astrology and just looking at the chart really quickly, because this is the astrology. I put this at 0 degrees Aries at the top, so you can kind of see where these energies are. Again, here's April 18th, and just to kind of give you a visual representation, because all the symbols tell a story. Right. So if you guys want to reach out, I actually have a free ebook if you want to learn astrology and learn how to read your own birth chart. It's my gift to you, to the community, to anybody who loves astrology, because I love the language of astrology. So if you want, just reach out, put your name, or put I'm ready or I want in the comments, and we'll get that sent out to you, because this is fun to learn what these symbols mean, because each symbol means something different. So I just wanted to kind of give you an exploration and a look at the birth chart. And again, this is April 18th. You can go back and check out some of the dates and just see. I wanted to show you too, it's like a time clock, right? So this is moving forward. Here's the 19th, the moon's in Capricorn. We keep going forward. Moon's still going to be in Capricorn on the 20th. This is where also see the sun turns into Taurus, which is going to be trining the moon. So you might be really feeling a stabilizing effect during this time. And then Mars, of course, is in Leo right there. It's going to be opposing. It's already going to be making an exact opposition, I believe, on the 27th. But right now you're starting to feel that opposition energy with Pluto, or power center, within groups, organizations, hope, dreams, and wishes. And Mars is saying, look, I might have a new dream. I might have a new creative idea that wants to come through. So there might be this push-pull of how may you been of service to your groups, to organizations, companies, and now you want to change your role. You want to change how you contribute. So there might be some conflict there, right? So, because it's power, Pluto's power. So watch for power dynamics between now and the end of April, because these energies are really forcing us to get clear on our values, which is Venus. And we've still got Venus right now in Pisces, but she's like, I want to be in service to the collective. I'm feeling everything, she's exalted in Pisces, which thank goodness, it's going to keep us stable and balanced during that time, and really focused on, what is good for the other is good for you, and what is good for you is good for the other. So again, if whatever you stand on, what is your foundation? This is Saturn also in Pisces. Where do you grid your energy? What legs of belief and values, Venus, do you stand on? For example, the values of this channel is all is self. That is the pillar that Livzenastrology stands on. So everything that we come from that space is from unity consciousness, that all is self. And that's the periphery, that's our foundation. So you may be creating new foundations during this time, right? All between now and the end of April. This is a very powerful, transformative time with this opposition. And then you've got this square happening with Aries, right? Mercury, how we think, Neptune, our spiritual values. And it's squaring Jupiter at this point, how we want to expand. But with Mars, it's going to be trining. So this is a beautiful time to say, hey, I'm really clear on my values. I'm really clear on what I want to create. And with Leo, it's the strength card in the tarot. It's like, and I have the inner strength and the fortitude and the determination to do it. And if you look at the tarot card and the strength card, it's her, grabbing on to a lion, which is our animal nature, right? The parts of us that maybe want to dominate or the parts of us that maybe want to run, fight or flight. So with this Leo energy and this trine happening with Aries, we're going to have this nice flow saying, hey, you're going to stabilize your fears and you're going to create from a place of love. Just be consistent with your practice. Be consistent. Know your why. Why do you do what you do? Right? Know your why. This is an important maybe mantra to work with during this time. So I just wanted to come up. I'm just going to look at some energies now to the end of April. You can see how the moon transits along. It's now going to be conjuncting Pluto. So this is the 21st, guys. You have an emotional need to change something up, to change how you express your power. Pluto is just power, and the moon is our emotional nature. So again, there might be with a conjunction, it can go either way. It can really show up in a really positive way. As far as like new aha ideas, like, oh, wow, I really have this need to do something different and it's going to benefit everybody, 11th house. But not everybody is going to see things the same way. Everybody's going to have their own personal experience with this energy. So please be patient during this time. Allow yourself space and space for other people's ideas. This is Mercury and Aries. A lot of people's inner children are really excited right now. And they're like, oh, me, I want to be heard. I want to be seen. I have an idea. And so sometimes we can kind of overrun our energy and kind of bombard other people like an inner child doesn't mean to, but they just get excited, right? They just kind of get disruptive. So just be aware that you're going through this process and your neighbors and your friends and your family are going through this process as well. So I always go back to the reference of Don Miguel Ruiz and the Four Agreements, because not taking anything personally, not making assumptions, speaking clearly and concisely, and always doing your best. Again, those are pillars that if you can set those foundations with your interactions with your friends and family and with the other, that can keep things more harmonious, more balanced. And this is what, as we're moving into April or in May, really Taurus season is saying, hey, be grounded in your body and don't take things personally, because everybody is learning to ground in their body and to express themselves in a new way. Their inner children are learning to come online, and we're healing the wound. Again, this is the wounds of Chiron, where we never maybe had a sense of self or didn't feel like we could be our authentic selves, right? Our own individual nature. That was very much Aries. And that's been the wounds that we have been healing from as a collective and as individuals as well. So just to be mindful of that. And then we're just going to go to the end of April here. So you can see the moon is going to be transiting or ingressing into Pisces, and it's going to be sextiling or rather conjuncting Venus. So when the moon, again, our emotional nature, our memories, how we feel, it's going to be connected to our values. So this might be a really creative, amazing time to do nothing, right? The more you do nothing, the more you can, I'm getting the image of like a lazy river or reading or being out in nature. The more you can be stable and feel really connected to your spiritual aspects through either meditation or yoga or some sort of spiritual practice, can really benefit you at this time, because there's going to be creative aha ideas. Saturn's going to be building some structures. The North Node, we're learning how to build structures based on our spiritual values. And then we're going to be taking action. And with Mercury and Aries is like, oh, I can see things a little more clearly, right? I feel the need to beautify my life and to bring a different set of values in based on my spiritual connection to source, the divine, God, whomever you decide to name that. And now Mercury's like, I'm going to be taking action on it. I'm going to be creating from that space of spiritual connectivity. So this is a really delicate, powerful time because we do have the solar flares right now. The sun is like consistent, fixed solar energy that's going to be coming onto the planet. So please get in your body as much as you can. Please understand that what's good for you is good for the other, is good for Earth, and what's good for the Earth is good for you. So just to bring more cognizance to this time period, because again, we've got Earth Day that's really focusing on the Earth, which is you, which is your body. It's the heart, right? The Earth spelled in a different way is heart. So it's all connected. And then there's what energy wants to come through. So moving through Pisces on the 24th. Now it's going to be switching gears and going into Aries, and you're going to have the emotional need again with right there conjuncting Mercury during this time. This is a really good time to journal because you might be getting some amazing ideas, action focused ideas, creative projects that are like, yes. So part of the manifestation and bringing it into the physical is writing it down, right? Rites of passage, writing it down. That's part of the manifestation process, that's what the sun in Taurus is reminding us. Hey, you got a creative idea, catch it while you can, right? Think of it like fishing. You got to catch it because we're moving so quickly through these fields of consciousness that the more we can slow that down, this is sort of the paradox in this realm. The more you slow down, the more you actually can get done, especially during Taurus season. So, okay, so let's keep going now, looking at the 26th, moon still in Aries, 27th. Now, this is where the new moon is going to be happening. So you might want to see, guys, you look in your chart to see where Taurus is in your chart, because this is where this new moon frequency is going to be happening at 7 degrees. So you might want to be looking at 8 degrees, the Sabian symbol. I'll go back and look at that and see what it is because I'm curious. That also denotes sort of the energy, the potency, the descriptor of what that new seed point is bringing. So again, planting a seed during this time, literally and physically, taking the action steps to plant something will show the mind and give you instructions on how things grow and to be patient with the growth process, that everything is a process. Virgo, South Node. Everything is a process. We just didn't understand the processes because we were taught early education, Jupiter, Gemini, showing us we maybe the things we taught and that we were taught in early childhood is not longer relevant to the energies that we're in now. So we've got to upgrade, we've got to shift. And we've got this nice sextile happening during this time period where we're really healing our mind and our connection to the earth by relearning, right? Being able to be the student, the beginner mind. I think of it like pouring out your cup every day to be refilled every day with something new, something potent, something that maybe hasn't been seen yet before. So afford yourself that potential of seeing things differently and experiencing this reality in a new way. Because that's going to help us all, right? We're all ready for change. We're all ready for shifting. So this is how we're going to be shifting, which is with the higher mind and with seeing ourselves and our bodies, our senses, and our connection to Mama Gaia in a new way. So this is going to be the activation point again on the 27th, and then going to the 28th, the moon's still be in Taurus, going into the 29th. Now the moon's going to be shifting gears into Gemini. So now the download, the new seed point that we got when the moon was in Taurus, now we want to be talking about it. But we want to be sharing ideas. We want to be connecting to friends, to neighbors, to siblings, and talking about, we have a need to now, how can we beautify our communities? How can we beautify our neighborhoods? This is more of a grassroots movement now. It's a lot of you may be starting gardens or greenhouses or community gardens during this time. This is a really time, especially when the moon is in Gemini, to talk to people about what you're doing, what you're growing. Maybe some of the new awarenesses you have about how this reality timeline works, right? Start communicating to people around you because we are the influencers at this point. We are the communicators. We are sharing data and knowledge, especially with Jupiter right there. And going into the 30th, still going to be in Gemini. And then the moon's going to be shifting gears into Cancer on May 1st. And again, it's following a time clock. Let's go ahead and see when it's going to be coming into Leo as well. There's going to be a conjunction. There we go with the moon and Mars. So on this particular day, May 5th, just pay attention because the moon is our sensitivities and next to Mars is our action in Leo. The shadow side of it can be belligerence, can be it's my way or the highway. I need to be the king or the queen. I need to be the one in charge, right? And so opposing Pluto and Aquarius is your groups. It's other people. It's people you work with. It's people you play with. It's people you connect to. So just be aware of these power dynamics that might be showing themselves and saying, hey, we all are creative. We all have ways of seeing the world and ourselves, but what's the mutual connection? What's the mutual bond? How can we, again, through this opposition, come to the middle point here with what I want to create, have an emotional need to create, and what the group needs? And maybe the group needs something different, and maybe what I want to contribute, I feel the need to contribute something different. So if you're in parts of groups that maybe we're used to you participating in a certain way and you want to show up in a different way, you can see where that opposing energy might show up. But again, how you can reconcile this, I would recommend the 4 agreements. Just stop, drop, and roll, get into your heart. This is where this Saturn and Pisces North Node, stay in your spiritual practices, stay in your own lane, right? Practice detachment, practice unifying yourself, seeing everything as self, that it's all you. So if you're fighting with you, which part of you are you fighting with, or are you having a disagreement with? And then go inward and do the work so that you can have a different experience, maybe with that opposing force, right? So just, again, it's just power. It's just how we express our power, how we express our creative nature. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop share there and take a sacred breath. I'm going to take a sip of my coconut water, and then we're going to do some card pulls for the collective for each individual sign, because that feels fun for me. All right, taking a sacred pause. Okay. So I'm going to put a link below of the cards that I'm working with, but I'm going to go ahead and start off with a card pull for my beautiful Aries. Spirit, this is just a card pull reflection for Aries. What does Aries need to know for mid-month of April going into May, please? What is the highest expression of Aries? Okay, so from the Shaman's Oracle deck, this is the card that came out: Benefactor, Grace, and Generosity. This is the number 3. So either this is the time for you to receive generosity from other people, or for you to give in a generous nature. Either way, this is tapping into the law of reciprocity. And especially since we're going to be moving into Taurus season, this is about values, about money, and about how we express ourselves, right? How we share our beauty. And so this is a very beneficial time right now for you, Aries, especially when you can come from your heart, see their faces, that they look like they're having a lot of joy. They're having fun, expressing themselves, being in their childlike nature. So really pay attention to how you give and how you receive this month. This is going to be the focus of your energy, because you have a lot to give, Aries. You are so dynamic and you are so fiery and you have an amazing personality. You're just a force of nature, right? So allow yourself to receive in the same manner that you give, is what I'm hearing, and give in the same manner that you receive. And so coming from another card deck here, this is some herbs that can help you process. And what came through was Mandrake, sensuality. So this is also a Taurus card as well. You can see here, grounded, rooted, earthy. So as above, so below. So the higher you go, and your force of reciprocity, I would say connecting to the divine, the lower you have to go into your root system. So as we're approaching Taurus season, it's time to get really grounded and rooted into yourself, right? This is a person, this is their sense of self. And if they want to feel stable and stabilize their finances, right, how they give and receive, then you've got to be grounded. This card is also rules Neptune and Venus. So we know Neptune right now is in Aries, which is your sign. So this is potent to say, hey, there's new creations that want to come through, but you got to ground in and you got to nourish yourself properly. This is also that give and receive. I'm seeing the breath, right? Make sure you're breathing properly, you're nourishing yourself, and you're allowing yourself to give and receive in that same manner of energy. And then I'm going to be looking too at a part in your chart that wants some more clarity or some more focus, some more highlights. And this is the 11th house. So we might want to look to see where your 11th house is, what sign is on the 11th house, because again, this is working with groups, organizations. This is also about hopes, dreams, and wishes. So you might be looking at new creative life force energy. I see the star out the window. You might be seeing something in a new way, a new light. You have new dreams, new visions of what you want to create. But again, allowing yourself to really get into that law of reciprocity, receiving as well as you give, or in the same manner that you give, and vice versa. That's going to help ground in the energy and allow you to really feel your sense of self-worth, because value and self-worth is going to be highlighted for you this month. And then what I wanted to show as well, I have this really cool, my mom gave me this bag. I really love this little bag. And I got, gosh, I lost the deck of cards a long time ago, but they're little bitty chakra cards that have one word on them. And it's like a mantra. So I'm just asking, and I get to pick, pick from the bag for Aries. What one word mantra does Aries need to know, please, Source Spirit, for their highest and best timeline experience? And here is, this is coming from the will, this is coming from the solar plexus area where the sun was shining. And the mantra that you can be working with mid-April going into May is, I am good enough, period. I am good enough to have the love of my life. I am good enough to have the money that I'm calling in, the resources, the health. I am good enough to have the career that I have been dreaming about, that I really want to create. So Aries, this could be, maybe write this down, take a screenshot, write it, and maybe yellow, right? Working with your will this month, this next 6 weeks, and maybe just putting your hands over your stomach saying, I am good enough. And see what happens, see what magic manifests for you during that time. Okay, my beautiful Taurus, this is going to be for you, your card pull. This is also, just so you know, guys, this is Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So you can also cross watch if you're in Aries and you have Taurus Moon, you might want to look at the Taurus. And so there's just ways to integrate these energies. But this is for my Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Taurus. So let's take a look at the Shaman Oracle deck and see what energy patterns that are coming up for you. Sweet Taurus, sensual Taurus. We're coming up to your season. My dog Tanner's a Taurus. He's turning 17 this month, guys. Oh my gosh. Longevity codes for sure. Okay, here we go. Willow of the Wisp, treasures hidden in the shadow, 62. So this is an 8. My Taurus family, friends, you guys know how to work this earth plane. You know how to grid. You know how to be in your bodies. And if you don't, you're really learning. You're really here to learn proper alchemy, the senses. And so there's treasures in the shadows, right? The shadows, I'm thinking of Taurus, is your shadows might be some perceived as laziness, being very slow, stubborn, but it could also be tenacity. It could be, I refuse to give up. So take that energy, beautiful Taurus, of refusing to give up and really allowing yourself to go deep. And the number 8, 6 + 2 is 8, into your own infinite nature, right? Into your own processes. So I'm even seeing like a meditation for you, Taurus, of you even seeing how your heart system works, right? Maybe touching up on your anatomy if you don't know anatomy, really getting into your body and grounding this month is what I'm hearing, because there are treasures within you. There are remembrances of how you know how to navigate these energies within you, but you got to have stillness and allow yourself to, without judgment, see yourself again a new way. This has been Taurus and Uranus, seeing your body and your relationship to your body and yourself in a new way. All right, Taurus. And let's look at the, again, the herbal astrology. This is, see if there's an herb or something that can support you during this time period to help you really get integrated and grounded into your body and to feel good about your new creations. Here we go, Valerian. So this is Valerian root, and this is Neptune as well. So Neptune's really speaking loud for my Aries and Taurus. And Valerian is about acceptance. Accept everything around you. I'm even seeing here too, it looks like lightning, but I see it the nervous system, right? So as above, so below, how we are deeply connected to the earth. So you're going to learn to accept your body and accept your processes more and more and more, and realize that in one-dimensional time and space, there's nothing wrong with you. All is exactly as it needs to be. And the more you can be in your body and just accept yourself, the way you look, how everything is in this now time moment, is really the key to helping you have a future of more stability, more self-acceptance, more love. Because what you do in the now is what will dictate your future. So in the now time, self-acceptance is the key. And again, 44, no accidents, is the 8. The 6, the 2 is the 8. can see that. And then we got the 44 and the 8. So really working with the infinity number. I'm even seeing, if you look on Pam Gregory, she did this amazing talk with this woman who does the infinity wave. And I've been actually using that infinity wave where you just, you start off with your heart and you do the number 8 and the heart is in the middle and you imagine it being water. And then you imagine yourself before you connect to anything or anyone, that infinity wave, you loop it out to the other person's heart, you bring it back into your brings you infinity wave, loop it to the earth, you bring it as above, so below. So just working with this symbol and seeing water flowing through it really brings clear connection to the other. So whether it's connection to source above, connection to earth below, connection to your brothers and sisters, your friends, family, the other, right? So using that infinity wave, the number 8, can really help my Taurus folks at this time. Oh, and let's look at the zodiac sign. So which part of your chart is really being highlighted for my Taurus friends and family? Oh, okay. So this is also signs, but it is also houses. And for you, Taurus, you've got a trine. It's because it's Virgo. It says the energy around you is dutiful, hesitant, and humble, with a discriminating, diligent, and painstaking air. And if you can see, they're planting, they're harvesting, they're pulling. This is Virgo. Again, learning your processes, learning how to be in your body, touch up on your anatomy, learn how your body systems work. Because this is what's being emphasized right now, Virgo, or Taurus, is your daily practices and how to ground into your body, how to feel good in your body, especially during Taurus season. Here we go. So yeah, and Virgo is also rules the 6th house. Again, rules are routines. So your routines need to be reevaluated during this time. What are you doing routinely? Because that's your root system, right? That's how you ground in, is what you do daily. And then let's do one of our little chakra card pulls here. You just gotta look at this bag. Isn't this bag amazing? I just love how she's putting on lipstick. You can tell. Anyway, it's fun. All right, Taurus, what one word mantra part of your chakra system could you be working with this month? Okay, so this is your throat, blue, and the word is celebrate. So celebrate your wins, right? Even celebrate your losses. Hey, if you flubbed up or you made a mistake or, you overindulge in your body, which sometimes that's what Taurus can do during Taurus season, because we like the senses. We like to feel good, taste, touch, if you overeat, overdrink, that's okay. The mantra this month for you is to celebrate the wins and the losses. Celebrate you. Celebrate the processes within you that you don't even have to, you don't have to tell your heart to beat, right? You don't have to give instructions to those processes within you that just do it naturally and they do it for you. So celebrate your body, celebrate your connection to the divine, and go out in nature and really ground. Celebrate who you are, because, and again, the self-acceptance, celebrate the processes that we are all going through, because life is happening for us, right? This is a point in the periphery. Again, Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is making us see our bodies and our connection to everything and everyone in a different way. So celebrate those differences, Taurus, right? Be fixed, be stubborn, and know that change is happening, and be diligent on how those shifts are showing up for you, right? So these are just some action steps you can work with. Okay, my beautiful Geminis. I'm going to do a card pull for you, again, from the Shaman Oracle decks, for my beautiful Geminis. What do my beautiful Geminis need to know for mid-April moving into May? Oop, oop. One card, please, Gemini. Ooh, it's a lot of energy. They want to kind of jump out. Eye of the Needle, intentionality. Oh my gosh. And here we go. Number 8 again, 1 and 7. So the 8, the infinity wave, is really coming through. Gemini, be very clear on where you're thinking and what you're thinking about coming up all through the month of April and May, the rest of April and May, because your thoughts are becoming things, especially since Mercury's going into, Mercury's going into Gemini, which feels very at home at. So your laser focused thoughts at this time is really going to help you penetrate and get to the next level of consciousness. So really manage your mind this month, Gemini, and be focused, pick and choose what thoughts are permeating in your conscious field, right? Because sometimes we can be siblings, friends, data information, which is all what Gemini rules. There can be a lot, especially if it's in Jupiter right now, right? So we just, it's like, what do I believe? What do I know is real? What's true? There's so much data. There's so much information. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, the way to assimilate and process this is by knowing what you want. Then you'll know where to focus your energy, which channel to tune into, which group, which, friends of yours that make sense to you, because I call it the quickening. When there's truth, it vibrates into the body, is what I call it, the quickening. It just makes sense. It just resonates and feels good, right? So this is the time, Gemini, to really use discernment and to get pointed focus. What do you want? What do you want? How do you want to be? What do you want to focus on? This is the focus this month, is just really knowing what your why is. So let's see if there's an herb that can help you with the herbal astrology deck that can help you stay focused. Eye on the prize, needle of intentionality, just being really clear. Okay, blue lotus. So it's not, how you know what you want? By knowing how you want to feel. This is rules, see if you can see this here. So blue lotus, it's ruled by 5, which is change, which is also the number that rules you, Mercury, your ruling planet, is ruled by 5. And we can see the sun here. So the sun going into Gemini, coming into the end of April, May, or end of May, June, you're going to be really paying attention, because the light of the energy is going to be shown on how you feel. So you're going to feel a certain way that's going to impact how you think. And then you're going to be sharing those thought form patterns and those ideas with your friends, families, siblings. And so the blue lotus can really be helping you tap into your intuitive nature, because Gemini rules the mind, right? It likes to think about stuff. But here, what it's asking is, if you really want to change your life, you got to feel it into existence. This is not so much about overemphasizing the mind. And you can see too, it's the sun and the moon. So this is I'm thinking of the new moon too in Taurus, right? And Gemini, for you, it's about grounding in what the information, think of water, how you want to share your emotional nature. It's not by overthinking, it's by feeling it. And the blue lotus might help you really get into your body and feel the energy as it wants to be expressed, because you can always think about it, right? And see how these thoughts want to come through. But it's about tuning into your intuition at this point. And let's look to see what part of your chart or whether sign is influencing you. Oh my gosh, you can't make this up. You get your own card, Gemini. So you're really, look at that. You can see they're in the city, they're talking, there's 2, polarity. So this is mastering duality. This is really seeing yourself in the other without prejudice or without judgment, or at least minimizing the judgment. And the card says, this energy is communicative, mischievous, lively, witty, and informative. Stimulating exchange is possible. So you feel the need to really talk about some cool ideas, Gemini, and to create. And so this is going to be the time for you right now to focus in, again, feel, be in your body, and then come from that feeling state as to what you want to create. Because again, this intentionality, it's like, you got to focus about what you want, but you got to feel your way through it, right? Because the mind can create from a dual perspective. It could be this or that. And with the eye of intentionality, it's and more. Once you be really focused, go into singularity, go from the duality into singularity. And you do that by what? Your heart, by feeling it. This is Gemini. Right? Feel what you're going to feel. And then that's like a chalice, pour it out into your group's organization. And that's what's going to transform everything around you, not just you, but your friends and family and groups, siblings. And let's pull from a chakra card. She has, it's one word, part of the chakra, green, gentled, quieted heart. So again, going into that feeling state, Gemini, you got to feel it to heal it. So allow yourself to really operate and speak from your heart over the next 6 weeks. There's a lot of mind stuff happening, a lot of polarity, a lot of this or that. But when you come in the middle point, which is that eye of the needle coming into your heart, it's saying, hey, look, in the heart, everything is perfect. There is no duality. It's all perfected state. So you might be accessing the gentle, quieted heart during this time. So that's going to counterbalance all this mind movement with Mercury and Gemini dropping into the heart. And again, heart is respelled earth. So grounding, being in nature, right? Being with the elementals during this month can really benefit you while you're integrating these energies, Gemini. Okay, my precious Cancers, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Cancer. This is for you. Thank you guys if you're still here so much. Thank you for still being here. Drop a heart in the comment, or just, maybe see if these reflections are showing up for you and how they're showing up for you. I'm really looking to build community for those of us who love to speak astrology, the language. It's a beautiful language. And I'm really grateful to be of service in this way. I mean, this is what I do for myself. This is how I love connecting to the divine. So I get to do this with you guys, and it's just so much fun. And I'm so grateful you're still here. All right, my beautiful Cancers. So this is the card you got, 58, Vanishing Mirror Ego Sublimation. So this is the time, really, this coming energy 6-week patterning for you, Cancer. It's about reflections. It's about really seeing yourself in the other and being able to look at yourself in an objective way. Take yourself out of, I know it's hard because you're very emotional and you take things personally, right? When you see something being projected out and you think, oh, it's sometimes, unfortunately, Cancers, that the shadow can be the victim mentality, right? Or overprotection, because Cancer rules the home. So if it feels threatened, or its sense of security is being violated in some way, it's really going to take action, especially since Mars has been in Cancer for so long. But what it's asking for is a more detached viewpoint of what you're seeing in the mirror. And it's the 5 and the 8. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. So there's a new foundation that's happening if you can see yourself as the other instead of seeing yourself as the victim. If you can see yourself as, I'm creating this reality and it's coming through me, then I need to stop, drop, and roll and maybe do some inner alchemy, because I'm being very sensitive as to what I'm seeing. And I really need to harness my ego. It's not about killing the ego, but it's about using alchemy to integrate the ego. So that's going to be a big reflection this month for my Cancer folks that are going to be, as we're moving into Cancer season in June. Between now and June, this is the time that mirrors might show up for you. So instead of judging the other for what you perceive as maybe threatening you or coming at you, where are you coming at yourself? Excuse me. Where are you attacking yourself? Where did you feel insecure that's just showing up now in the other, that you can go and manage those insecurities by practicing what? You get a trine with Pisces and Saturn, practicing trust, practicing faith, practicing that everything that is happening for you, even if we've been taught to see it as opposition or as the enemy, because the enemy is within, right? The N is me, and a me. It's all in me. And so let's look at an herb that might help you really take this mirroring, all the relationships. If you can just look at it from a periphery, it's all me. What wants to come through? Oh my gosh. Okay, so milk thistle 23. Oh, the 5. So it's the peaceful warrior. So when these mirrors come up for you, which again, I see Mars and the moon, right? Mars has been in Cancer, it's been in your sign, and the moon is your ruler. So anywhere that you have seen dissonance showing up in your family, in your root system, in your ancestors, if you're seeing mirrors outside of you that you don't like, that you're judging as bad or wrong, perhaps milk thistle, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an herbologist, these are just card pulls, these are just energy reflections that wanted to come through to help give you more grace to yourself and to the other as you're learning to reflect and to embody oneness. I'm even seeing the Mother Mary vibe, right? And you look, she's even got, it looks like a badger, because a badger can be very fierce, right? But she's saying, you know what, I'm actually going to allow myself to feel these emotions, to embody oneness, and to see it as all as self, so that I can quit judging my mirrors that are showing up for me. They're just here to teach me something. I'm even thinking mother's milk, right? Milk thistle, the milk of the mother, the nourishment. Take care of yourselves during this time, Cancers, because your reflections are going to be coming in very clear. Just learn to love all of it, even if you don't like it. You don't have to accept it. You just have to embrace it. You don't have to do anything, but you don't have to agree with what's going on with your reflections, but you just have to accept that they're part of you and that you're going to love them anyway, even if you don't like them, right? So this might be the challenge this month. And let's see what other part of your chart or the zodiac wants to come through where these can be showing up for you, Cancer. Can't make this up. Mars. So Mars is coming through. It just left your sign, but it's still saying, I need to take action and my sense of security, right? So your physical energy, drive, strength, and fighting spirit. Now that Mars is going to be going into Leo, create something in the home that makes you feel good. Create something in the home that invites in other people to express themselves. Other mirror reflections of you want to come to you. They want to come, they want to be near you. But if you're judging it as and feeling unsafe or like they're the enemy, that's where a lot of this conflict, this fiery energy can be showing itself. So this is the time for you to look at your Mars in your chart, maybe your own individual chart to see where Mars is, and then look to see where Leo is, because Mars is going to be entering Leo after coming out of your sign, and it's going to want to create something. So you might be even creating a whole new home for you, a whole new home base, a new foundation, right? New root system. So Mars is going to be taking action. You're going to be using the Mars energy for that creativity this month. And then final card here, a chakra card, my beautiful Cancers. What does Cancer need to know, Spirit, about this month of mid-month April going into, okay, physical action. See, this is the root. This is Mars. Mars is saying you might need to work out all these emotional insecurities by going and taking action on your body, right? So move that energy out. That's what creates change, is movement. So if you've been stagnant, or you have been too much in the mind or too much in your emotional nature and you didn't know how to handle or move the energies, the advice from the universe is, hey, go take some physical action, go make sure that you're in your body, and that as you're reflecting out, you're seeing these images of other people that are all you, they're triggering you. Go take that energy and move it and transform it and alchemize it. Right? Use that Mars action for good, or maybe go and change your home, change something in your environment, the root system that will reflect who you are now, not who you were, and allow the mirrors to show up for you because they're here for you. Again, this life is for you. Okay, taking another sacred pause here as we're moving along, going into Leo next. All right, my beautiful Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right, beautiful Leos, what do you need to know? What cards can support you during this time? One card, please. Otherwise, it's too much. One card, please. Leo, you got a lot of energy too. Hollow bone, teachability. Okay, this is number 28. This is the one. So you can see this. There's actually, Leo is about creativity, and you might have to be taught something to expand your creative life force energy. So in other words, if you're a content creator, for example, or you want to say refurbish a camper, you got to learn some skills. You got to learn how to do some things. So this is for you, Leo, this is very much about creation, but you also might have to learn education, which is also Jupiter and Gemini, which is going to be sextiling your energy. Take a class, learn something new, because at this point you're being asked to be teachable. And if you've acquired some knowledge and some creative skill sets, this might be a time for you to go out and teach those skill sets. So it just depends where you are, what part of you are in the fractal, but it's also about allowing yourself structure, step by step, and allow your ancestors to come and help you, right? Pull from your energy life force center that's going to help the whole collective. And again, this is to me is like a spiritual, it's like coming from a balanced hemispheres, right? Because I'm seeing the two. And so coming from your full creative life force energy, Leo, it's about creating, but you might have to learn something to implement the creative things you want to express, or it's time to teach something about the things you've already created and people want to learn how you've done something so fantastic and amazing, right? And let's see what herb can help you with this process as you are learning to be teachable or to teach. So this is funny, but the cannabis card came in. So cannabis, people have their opinions about cannabis and how they use cannabis, but it's just a plant. You can just connect to the energy of the card without actually having to imbibe with it, or you can imbibe with it, just depends on what you're doing. But cannabis 31, which is 4, it's saying detachment. So don't get so hung up on your creations, guys. Creation for creation's sake is amazing. And if you're learning some skills to really promote your creations, don't detach from the outcome. In other words, sometimes we have this fixed, because Leo is fixed as well. We have this fixed way of the way things need to be created, right? Like you had this image in your mind, and then it's got to be that exact way that you imaged it. Well, what this is saying is like actually don't attach to the outcome, just enjoy the creative process because you've got Neptune and Saturn. So Saturn is structure, Neptune is our spirituality. So structured spirituality, if you use cannabis or you choose to imbibe with cannabis, do it in a way that's sacred. Again, I'm looking at this, I'm seeing very sacred ancestors, right? This reminds me of an ancestral gifts that you probably have. So you can access just by even tuning into the nature of cannabis. Again, you don't have to imbibe with it physically, but this will help you be detached from what wants to come through you. In other words, don't hang on to your creation so much. Just create for creation's sake, and people will feel that, and they're going to want to learn from you and grow from you because they can feel your authentic nature. You're not trying to control the creations, you're just trying to express, right? And so let's see what cards energy want to come through my beautiful Leo, which part of the chart. Okay, we got Venus. Venus wants to express herself, the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgent, and valuables. Well, I'll tell you what, Leo loves Venus and Venus loves Leo. This is the bling bling, right? This is where Venus loves to be expressed through Leo. It's like I'm thinking of gold and diamonds and beauty. And so part of what you're teaching, teaching yourself this month and being really holding those codes is being that regal, beautiful, commanding energy with not attachment to what wants to get created through you, right? Don't attach, just be in that vibe. Be in that creative life force energy because you've got ancestral knowledge that wants to come through you. You're teaching while you're creating and you're enjoying the ride, right? You're enjoying Venus. It's like, and there might be money on the other end of this. You might create something, you're not attached to what comes through, and then all of a sudden something magical comes through and people really want to purchase it or to participate in it, right? That's the power that Leo has during this time. So come from your heart space, create without any attachment, and see what comes through for the collective, because there's a lot that could be experienced during this time for you, Leo. So happy fun creating on that. All right, moving into, we're almost halfway through Virgo. Whew, this is a lot. I've never done a reading like this before, guys. So channeling a lot of energy. Just gonna take some breaks. But it feels fun and feels good to do this. So if you guys are still here, again, put a heart in the comment. How is this reading going for you? Are you resonating with any of these energies? And again, look to your chart to see, because we all have these placements. We all have Aries through Pisces somewhere in our chart. It's just how they're manifesting. And our sun life energy wants to be seen through it. So right now, Virgo, we're moving into going out of Leo, moving into Virgo. And the card that I pulled for Virgo this month is a tidy house, clarity, and organization. Well, I know for a lot of my Virgos out there, this is music to your ears because Virgos love order. They love structure. They love, organization. So this is what it's asking for this month is, where do you need to organize your life? Go and see where Virgo is in your chart. Which house needs to be organized? Again, literally tidy house. So a house I see is like your house system, right? The 12 houses. What part of your chart is it showing up? Actually, I'm going to go out of order a little bit because I want to see. This is basically saying there's new structures that are coming to you. You got to make space for it. You got to organize and clean in a different way. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this for you Virgos. I'm going to do a little out of order. Don't be mad at me. I know you love order. But I want to see which house, because it literally says a tidy house. Which tidy house? Oh my gosh, the 6th house, which is what you rule. Virgo rules the 6th house. So this is your health. Health matters of the health. The tidy house is your physical vessel. So this is saying, again, going back to routines, what are you doing every day that's grounding in your healthy practices? This says the work, health, and duty area of your life. So it's time to do that cleanse. It's time to do something different with the body, Virgo. And this is also South Node. You know how to do this. The South Node's in Virgo right now, the nodes of the moon. We've got the North Node we've come to learn is in Pisces, but the South Node is what we've already mastered and what we've come into this incarnation with that skill set. So Virgo, you know the power of cleaning, of cleansing, of detoxing. So your house is literally your house. It's your routines. You got to be looking at what are you doing on the daily. There's some shifts happening for you because the health focus, your mental, your spiritual, emotional, your physical, and your financial health are all being emphasized, especially during Taurus season, because it's going to be trining your energy. It's saying, hey, ground in new frequencies by doing something new every day. Root. This is like root. I mean, it seems like a tree root, right? Routines. Look at the trees. The house is the roots, rooted in, and it's red. It's foundation. It's our root system. So now we can go into the herb that can help you with this, Virgo, to stay neat and tidy and to clean, but doing it out with not so much judgment. It's not about perfection. It's about the perfect practice. And we've got lion's mane here, leadership. So lion's mane is really good for the brain. You can see it too. It's got the scales. So bringing hemisync to your brain, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is the mind. It also has got Mercury and Uranus there. So you've got some, and we've got Leo here too, lion's mane. So your previous sign, Leo, has got a lot of life force, creative energy that wants to come through and ground, but you got to stay balanced with your practices, right? As above, so below. What you're thinking about is bringing massive transformation, Uranus, Mercury, but you do it in your body and do it through every day. How you are showing up every day. Lion's mane's also the 9, so there's a completion energy. So you're completing cycles also too. You might actually even be moving switching homes, I'm seeing too. With this energy, you might be even changing your whole house or even like doing construction or moving areas, which is also bringing in this new foundation. And again, learning to lead your own life through consistent practice, not perfectionism. That can be the shadow. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it is about the perfect practice, right? Because there's some massive shifts that are happening for you this month, but you got to clean up. So I know you've probably been, none of us like to fast, even though it's so good for the body. None of us likes to do a parasite cleanse because there's a lot of detox symptoms, but that's what's being called for, especially for you, Virgo. And let's see what one card pull, what chakra cool card and words do you need this month? It's the heart. Okay, so there we go. Accept and re-choose. So this is you again working with your heart space as you're learning to clean out your vessel, detoxing, cleaning out your home. Just accept where you've been. Accept yourself for exactly who you are. And if you're looking at maybe patterns or routines in how you eat and how you think, and they're no longer serving you, that's okay. Accept where you've been and just keep re-choosing every now moment. This is where presence is really going to be effective in staying into your spiritual practices, things like yoga, qigong, meditation. It gives you choice in the now moment. And again, coming from your heart space, really learning to accept yourself, where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. And that self-acceptance is what's going to allow for a better experience, more harmonious experience of this reality. And again, doing it from more of a cleansed space for you, more of a cleaner environment, cleaner thoughts, cleaner periphery is what's coming through for you, Virgo. Okay, the next card pull is for my beautiful Libras. All right, my beautiful, sweet Libras. My son's a Libra. I have an affinity for Libra. My mom's a Libra. I've been surrounded by Libras. My Pluto's in Libra in the 10th house. So I've really been expanded by my Libra energy, friends and family. And Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Libra, what wants to come through with you, for you? Okay, Unmarked Trail, Revelation. So this is 5 and 7. I'm looking at this immediately. I'm seeing also ascending. I'm seeing balance, right? Balancing the hemispheres. So you've got this one little stone there that's balancing what's going on top and what's going on the bottom. You know, Libra, it's all about the balance for you guys. And so for this, it's unmarked trail. It's asking you to do something different. You know, we all tend to be creatures of habit, but for you, Libra, this upcoming 6-week period is asking you to make different decisions because there's new awarenesses, aha moments that want to come through. There's revelations that want to be seen, but you can't be in the same old. You can't take that same street to work every day, or you can't, you know, eat the same foods or do the same patterns or routines. If you want something different, you got to do something different. And it's for you, Libra, that's really going to bring a lot of balance and clarity. This card's green, so it's going to be a heart activation. There might be a new love relationship that's coming up, right? If you keep following your path, following the path of least resistance, but also following the unmarked path. You got to do something different, because on the other side of that, there might be a new romantic partnership, love partnership, a new job, a new career that you've been seeking. Whatever it is that's going to get you there, it's saying you got to do something different. So that there's going to be revelations if you can allow yourself the unmarked path. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 as a 3. So communication, 3 is all about communicating your needs. So talking to people in Gemini season, that's going to be trining your energy coming up in with Mercury going into Gemini. So the need to connect, to communicate, to be in partnership, whether it's romantic or just friends and family, do something different with them. You know, have a new experience with the way you relate, because you're going to be having amazing revelations during this time. And again, going into Taurus season, Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is also your ruling planet. And so Venus is like, hey, you can actually have new values, new relationships, new ways you engage with people, if you allow yourself to do something different and to take that uncharted path. All right, third house, your political, your potential to learn something in your local neighborhood. So this is also Gemini. And again, we just talked about Gemini training your energy. So this also may be a time for you to go back to school or learn a new skill set as well, and to share, to teach it. This is part of the revelation part of it too. It's very similar to Virgo energy or to Leo energy, right? So again, you're going to be learning something new. You're going to be learning how to relate, how to see yourself in a new way. This could also be new workplace dynamics. This could be new fields of study where they're going to share you revelations. I'm thinking about quantum energy and quantum physics, and even that, because it's all higher mind stuff, right? And so how we relate. So the third house is also about our siblings. So it might be highlighted this month or this next 6-week period for you, Libra, your brothers, your sisters, early education. Again, your children might be going to a new school. Our foundational learning periphery is going to be shifted this month again, and you're going to be maybe even starting a school. I mean, for some of you, this might not be relevant to everybody. Just please pick what feels good to you and discard the rest. But for some of you watching this, you might even have the need to create some sort of school, right? Some sort of certification. I'm thinking either early, like young elementary. I see you guys, Libras, wanting to relate to children in a new way, parents in a new way. And this could be maybe a business idea that comes through. It's just something that just came through right now, channeled. And that was a little bit of a different energy than the other sign. So Libra, you've got a lot coming up this month. And let's see what herb can help you navigate perhaps these new creations in either early education or Yarrow Harmony, which of course Harmony is all about what Libra is about. So Yarrow here you can see too, it's the bird. So the bird is mind, right? So when you look at bird symbology, it has to do with how we think, how we travel through the mind. And you can see it's the crane. It's also got that's Venus, which is your ruling planet. This so perfect. And again, wherever it is within your chart that you have these Gemini coming up to harmonize your relationships, new education systems, new way of learning will help harmonize your relationships. And I'm seeing it with children too, right? Because we've also got we've got Gemini there. Again, you're trining with the Gemini. And so you might even be interacting with kids in a new way, right? Or again, what you're teaching, what you're learning, it's going to bring a lot of harmony in your life. It's going to see yourself in a whole new creative way. It's going to extend you. It's going to, there's the scales again. It's going to balance you out, and it's going to, what I'm hearing, push your edge. It's going to make you extend out in a way that you maybe have never seen yourself or extended out before, to your community, to siblings, to children. So yeah, there's going to be new creative life force energy. You're going to see yourself in a whole new way, and you're going to bring more harmony to yourself and your relationships if you follow this path of really doing something different, right? The unmarked path. 2 roads diverge in a narrow wood, and I have taken the one less traveled by, and that's made all the difference. Just came through. Okay, Libra, what card represents what word? Part of the chakra system. Okay, be vulnerable. There you go. You might have some new creative ideas. Share yourselves in a new way that's going to bring you more balance and harmony, but you got to really put yourself out there. Your authentic, genuine, loving, Venus-ruled self, right? So sometimes this actually might be in this, because it's orange, you might be creating something new that feels sort of out of character for you to want to create. And you're questioning, why do I want to create this? Or why do I have the need to share this information or to learn this thing? And what Spirit's saying is this is part of your growth. This is what's going to bring you more harmony. It's going to expand you in a new way, expand your relationships. And so allow yourself to be vulnerable this month, right? The orange is the sacral, which is our sexual nature. So again, looking at our relationships to stimulate your creativity. You might be wanting some new relationship. So that also might be affecting how you relate to other people by inviting in a new relationship into your own self, right? So that's just what's coming through is the power of relationships and Libras this month. And to be vulnerable, it's okay. That's what's going to connect you to other people. Taking a sacred breath. All right, my beautiful Scorpios, what do you need to know for the end of April coming into May? Beautiful Scorpios, what do you need to know? It's funny, I got this card today in my own card pool, and I'm a Scorpio. So, lost in space. It's okay to not have a clear direction at this time, Scorpio, because you've done so much alchemy. We've got Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto's your ruling planet. Mars is also your co-ruling planet. There's a lot of change happening, and it's happening fast. So I'm thinking of like building, sand castles on sand. It's like, nah, don't build anything on during this time. Not to say you can't build during this time, but don't hang on to anything that you might be experiencing because things are changing really, really fast. You're going through this metamorphosis, this alchemical change. So the best way to navigate this is just to really, what my guides have shown me, is just do things within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, it can cause anxiety. It can cause a dysregulated nervous system. And if I think too far out into the future, I freak out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't, how can I do that? And then if I'm thinking in the past too much, then I'm in depression and I'm in regret, right? So what my guys are saying is, look, if you want to create and not feel so lost, just be present and only do structurally what's for the next 24 hours. And if you can just stay in that 24-hour periphery, which again, 2, 4 is 6, stay in your heart, stay in your love, and be present, then everything you'll know exactly what step to take, right? You won't be so lost in space. You'll know exactly what steps you need to take. You won't feel so out there. You'll actually know what to do. But that's about being present, right, Scorpios? Living in the now, which can be sometimes challenging because we like to control stuff or try to, plan things out and plot things out, and because we need to feel safe in the control, but that's not what's being called for right now. It's allowing yourself to feel lost, but it's not really lost. It's just not to be in control, to lean into the unknown. And the herb that can help you with this, ashwagandha, 54, purpose, which is also rule 9, it's completion. So this is actually tuning you into your purpose. It's ruled by the North Node and the Moon. So North Node is Pisces, and the Moon is our emotional nature. So grounded through your spiritual practices, allowing yourself to see the reflection, the sun and the moon, they're together, they're in harmony, they're in this beautiful, it's like almost like a womb, right? And ashwagandha helps you stay focused and clear and energized. And again, puts you on purpose. But the purpose is only know what your purpose is for the next 24 hours. Don't go past that, because otherwise you can be in anxiety, or if you're in the past, you could be lost in nostalgia and regret. So ashwagandha, if you've ever used this particular root, it actually roots you into the now. It helps you stay very present, because presence is your purpose. And what you do in the now will show up in your future, right? So it's all connected, especially for you, Scorpio, because you're going through a highly alchemical transformation time right now. So don't hang on to anything. Don't try to control how it looks. Just be very present. And perhaps you might want to use ashwagandha this month to help you with that. So let's see what extra part of the chart is being highlighted for you, Scorpio, during this month. The sun, your immortal spirit, purpose, and destiny. So Scorpio, you're going to be really seen during Taurus season, which is your opposing sign right now, right? So your Taurus peeps, the grounding opposition energy is going to be highlighting your ability to transform, because what's happening, it says your immortal spirit purpose and destinies evolve. Well, there we go. Purpose again showed up twice for you. So this is really about being on purpose for you, Scorpio. And the sun being in Taurus is going to be opposing you. So you're going to see some things that are highlighting that maybe where you didn't have value in your creative life force energy. You didn't know how to value your channeling ability, your ability to be very present, right? That's a gift. And so you may want to highlight your ability to be present this month, because Taurus is going to come in and bring value and gifts and people and opportunities your way. And your purpose, you're going to get more and more clear. You're not going to be so lost in space, because your purpose is to be present. And the purpose is only go for the next 24 hours. That's what's going to serve you right now. That's what you're being highlighted, because so much energy, so much physical abundance can come to you if you're present with the energies that you're working with in the now. It's only in the now, because when you're in the now, N-O-W, you're in the know, K-N-O-W. So that's what I wanted to come through. All right, my beautiful Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Sag, this is for you. What do you need to know for mid-April, the end of April, coming into May? What energy can serve you? Sky bridge, possibility for union. So here we go, Sagittarius. This is your fire. You can see the pillars here, and you ascending up into the pillars. This is almost like you and the other. 4 and 7 is 11. Which also looks like, the number 11 there. So this is also, I'm thinking of, I forgot the other sign that had that mirror. I think it was Cancer. But there's a possibility for union this month for you, right? For the other. So really connecting to groups, other people, Sagittarius, you're going to have that need to really connect, whether it's in divine, sacred, romantic union, or just, union with another group, a new career, new people in your life. Because and with 11, this is about mastery. So you're stepping into another level of mastery. You're learning to ascend your energy by working with other people. So this is the time to use the shadow of Sagittarius, can be very judgmental. It's also the teacher and likes to learn. It's constantly, wanting to expand through knowledge, through higher learning, 9th house. So where early education would be Gemini, the opposition, like, say K through 12. In Sagittarius, it's like the higher learning. It's after you graduate high school and you go into college and then you go to your doctorate, right? So you're really going to be expanding, again, stepping into a level of mastery 11 with other people. But but other people, it's reflecting the divine union with you yourself. And I heard me, myself, and Irene. Unifying all your personalities, all your aspects of self is the potential today to really accept yourself, step out of that judgment. Sorry, I've got an alarm here that goes off. Its battery needs to be changed. And that went off too, okay? So that went off during your reading, Sagittarius. That's telling me, look, you're calling in some sort of partnership that's going to ascend you and shift your energy. Don't judge it. Sagittarius, you can be a little judgy. I know, because I'm Sag rising, so I get it. But there you too. Remember, everything's a mirror, and you're going to grow from this experience. You're going to learn a lot. And then eventually you're going to turn around and teach it, because when you teach something, you learn it twice, right? So divine partnership is really going to be highlighted for you in whether it be romantic, your career, family. And then what's going to help you, the herb that can possibly help you with this is mugwort, psychic healing. So your relationship, I'm seeing here too, Sagittarius, you're probably super psychic and didn't realize how psychic you were. And now you're realizing, wow, I am learning to differentiate my energy and the others. This is the moon and Neptune, maybe where I didn't have boundaries, or where I created these boundaries within myself that kept people at distance because I was judging, because I was in fear and still in separation. But mugwort's going to help you resolve all that. Mugworts is saying, look, you're unifying with spirit. You're connecting to the ancestors. You've got wisdom here, which is the owl that's sitting on her shoulder, showing her the truth, because the owls can see at night, right? They have clear vision in the dark. So there might be some hidden things, because mugwort represents psychic healing, which is the one. So again, another one, right? You've got an 11 here, 4 and 7, and then you've got the 1, which is 3, which also rules Jupiter. It's expansion. So tuning in to your psychic abilities is going to help you connect to other people and maybe even pull in that soulmate energy. This might not be for everybody. Again, this is just a collective reading, but for some of you out there, you're really calling in divine partnership, sacred divine partnership, and you can do it through the metaphysical realm. So participating, either taking mugwort tea or inhaling with the mugwort. And again, you don't even have to use these, just connect to the spirit or the energy of these frequencies. And then you can just, through meditation, participate in it, right? Because there's going to be a lot of growth happening for you, Sagittarius, through your relationships, through your unions this month. And let's see what other part of the chart is being highlighted for you. Sagittarius, my beautiful Sagittarius, what other part of the chart? Ooh, Vesta. Okay, so Vesta, goddess within, your sacred and spiritual center and quiet dignity. So this is going to invoke in, Vesta is all about how we take care of ourselves. So making sure that the divine partners, the unions that you're calling in, has a level of, they know how to take care of themselves. I'm thinking of Jerry Maguire when they had that said, you complete me. For Sag, it's not about completing anybody. It's about, hey, I'm complete in and of myself. I've done a lot of work on myself. I'm a complete holistic being, and I'm calling in another complete holistic being that knows how to take care of themselves. So you're not really looking, unless you have a lot of Cancer in your chart, and maybe that's you want to nurture and mother, but you're really looking for sovereignty for an equal, right? For somebody, look at the red behind her. It's like somebody who's clear, somebody who knows what they want. Sagittarius, you really like power. You like focus, even though sometimes we struggle with focus, you like being on point. And so you're calling in a divine partner or in your partnerships, whether even in career, that's going to be more on point with you. Okay. That they also have that sense of sacredness, and they've been doing their inner work to connect to their source self. And so that divine union that's coming in is going to be two beings sourcing from their own self source and then coming together in a divine union. And Sagittarius, what word and chakra point wants to be, okay, so this is the will, this is the solar plexus, and appreciate yourself. This is where you lose the judgment so much. When you can really, truly appreciate yourself, that's when you can appreciate the other. It's an inside job out. So don't be so critical and harsh on yourself, Sagittarius, and judgmental. This is the time for you really just to accept yourself as you are. Maybe work with some yellow codes, wear the color yellow more, be more bright, because I've got Vesta here. You can see she's got yellow in the background, right? And even the colors too, Sky Bridge, you've got the yellow and the red there, right? So this is all root, lower, rerouting yourself and your relationships, because again, you're calling in some sort of divine partnership that's going to really impact you and expand you and elevate you and ascend you. And it may be something you don't, a being that's outside of your comfort zone. So don't judge it, just accept it, allow it in. All right, my beautiful Capricorns after Sag. This is for my Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Capricorn. What do you need to know for the end of April coming into May? Okay, this is mindful groupthink. Capricorn, you are the boss, you are the authority, and you're going to be influenced by your group's organizations, Aquarius. So know your own mind, because you're going to be getting a lot of backlash, I'm hearing, from people that are in these power structures dynamics. Saturn is your ruling planets in Pisces. So sometimes you can really be picking up on collective energies. And if you want to be the boss or create something or be the authority, you got to know your own mind and know what's yours and what's not yours. So this is kind of, I'm seeing you too, even with Virgo, that's going to be trining your energy, purging, cleaning out your house, cleaning out your closets, cleaning out your mind clutter, because you really need to know what is yours and what people are projecting onto you, which could be this groupthink. So yeah, Capricorn, there's a lot of creations that want to come through, but know what wants to come through you and what maybe is being influenced by other people, which is fine, but know thyself, right? Know thyself and know what you want to create, because you could really be picking up on a lot of under energies right now. And what herb can help you, Capricorn, as you're moving through April? Again, this Taurus energy is going to be trining you, so you can really be focusing on your values, what you want to create, your body. And oh, I've never heard even know how to pronounce this card, but I'll check it out. It's Shisandra. Shisandra. You guys can look that up and see that. Shisandra. And it's grace. It's the number 29, which is the number 11. And I'm also seeing Jupiter and Venus here too. So Jupiter's expansion, Venus is our values, which again rules Taurus. So know your own values, because you might be picking up on other people's stuff. And Capricorn, you need to ground it and know what you want, know what you want to create. You are the inner authority, right? You know how to get what you want, you know how to ascend. But right now you're asking for a little more grace and maybe to work smarter, not harder, right? So this is balancing your emotions, right? She's pouring in, she's balancing service to others, service to self. She's getting expanded and she's knowing her values. So Capricorn, what do you value? What do you want to bring into a grounded perspective? I know we can be easily influenced by those around us, but source is saying there is a creative life force energy that wants to come through you. You just got to manage your mind and your heart. And again, here's that crane, right? A lot of creative ideas coming up that want to be projected through you, but know thyself. And maybe the Chandra can help you have more grace and ease with this process. And oh yeah, let's see what other part of your chart is picking up on this energy that can be highlighted. Pisces, 12th house. So look to see where your Pisces is in your chart. This energy is wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate, and forgiving. It confuses and softens resolve. So again, Pisces is about the collective energy. So tuning into the Pisces energy is like tuning into the collective energy. And then I see it going through like a filtration system where you're learning what is yours, what is the others. And then you're learning to balance out these energies, because you're highly sensitive and intuitive this month, Capricorn. Normally you tend to be worldly and very grounded and very here in the now. But this energy is saying, look, there's some shifts that are happening. There are new ideas coming in, but you got to be in your heart. You got to be in your emotional body. And Pisces, trust your intuition. And that might be not necessarily something you're used to, Capricorn, but that's what's being called for, especially while the sun's in Taurus going into Gemini for April and May. Okay, so this is the focus right now, because there's stuff that wants to come through you and be created by you, but be discerning. Are you really doing it for you, or are you doing it for the other? And it might be a little bit of both. It's a win-win. Doesn't have to be either or, it's and more. And the card, okay, this is something that you can, again, looking at the solar plexus, you can ask yourself this month, is it true? So again, is this my energy? Is this the Pisces energy I'm picking up on? Is it something that really wants to be created through me, or am I just trying to do it for the money? Which is not a bad idea. But with Pisces, it's like you got to connect to your spiritual nature, things that come from spirit, that come for the collective, not just for you, but if you create it for everyone, then there can be a lot of abundance there. So as your mind is questioning, as you're thinking again, these thoughts, I'm looking at this crane bringing a lot of ideas. Just ask yourself that mantra, that question, is it true when a thought comes up for you? And especially you'll notice how it feels in your body, Capricorn. If you think a thought and you feel like shit afterwards, ask, was that thought true? Was it even mine? Did I pick up on somebody else's energy, Pisces? Am I picking up on collective stuff? I'm not used to doing that, because Capricorn's very grounded. It likes to be in the body, likes to be in the here and now. It's materialistic. It likes to be in form. But this month, there might be some shenanigans going on with your astro body. So it's okay. It's all perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. But just you might be operating on a new frequency this month. Just be mindful of that. All right, taking a sacred breath. Excuse me. How are you guys doing? Put a heart in the comment if you're still here, if you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying this carpool. I am. This is a lot of fun for me, and I hope this is serving you guys and you get some cool intel and some applicable energies that you can apply this month that'll help you navigate more grace and ease. Hey, my Aquarians, we got 2 more signs here. My beautiful Aquarians, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do you need to know, Miss Beautiful Aquarians, for this month? coming into mid-April, going into May. What do you need to know for the next 6 months? Okay. So we got the 3 and 7, which is a 1, Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic. There's that sword again. We had the Eye of the Needle. I forgot what other sign that was. I'll have to go back and look. But this reminds me of the Eye of the Needle, getting very clear, focused, pointed on what you want. The sword is the mind, right? So swords are words. How we use our words this month is going to be really impactful. You're going to be cutting through a lot of frequency clutter is what I'm hearing. It's almost like the image I'm getting is like a satellite, right? So we are the antennas, our hair, our thoughts, our bodies is like an antenna. You want to pierce whatever veil that this earthly structure has been under, this sort of mass hypnosis, and get very clear and focused about what it is you want to create this upcoming Taurus season as we're grounding in the energies. Because we've got Uranus in Taurus, which is your ruling sign. And Uranus is saying, I want some change. I want things different. How you think about things, the words you use, it wants to be done differently, but do it in a grounding way. Do it in a pointed, focused way and be consistent at it. Because Uranus, Aquarius, you guys are the futurists. You can see what the potential of what's ahead, the possibilities, but stay focused on that. Don't get too lost in the past. Don't worry so much about the future. Again, staying pointed, focused in the now is going to help you navigate what frequencies to align with that want to bring in those frequencies for the collective, because you're all about working with collective energies. And so what herb can help you where you're in this process of really just having confidence in your magic, knowing like you know, like you know. Because Aquarius it's the house of the I know, right? The 11th house. That's the action that Aquarius know. It just knows. It knows things without knowing. And the herb that can help you, Neptune and the moon, this is passion flower. This is staying in a state of surrender. So this is the number 7. While you know, like you know, like you know, and you're moving forward, this is also, again, not hanging on to anything that comes through your creative life force energy. Just be in the state of surrender. See how she's got her hands palm. It's like an offering. So this is an offering you can give Neptune and the moon, feeling the emotional nature to tune into your spiritual practices, passion flower, and what are your creative passions this month? Taurus wants to ground it in. Uranus, do things different. Be creative in a new way. Be focused on that creativity this month, guys. Really focus on the magic you want to bring in and be in surrender. Again, don't hang on to the outcome so much, but be in the now and be in the present, because there's an offering. I'm even seeing working with the earth, right? Because especially you, Aquarius, while your ruling planet is in Taurus, you really are, I'm hearing earth builders or earth gritters. Just by your vibrations, your sounds, your frequencies, you being really focused on improving yourself and the earth will help the other. Staying in your passion life force. That's going to be very valuable during this time and bring a lot of clarity. Again, I keep seeing that sword, how you use your words this month, especially swords are words. So only speak on what you want and don't be so judgmental, or you just be mindful of the words you speak this month. And again, Mercury is the card, the part of your chart that wants to come out to be highlighted. Again, Mercury rules the mind, and Aquarius is the higher mind. It's ruled by Uranus, right? So Mercury is the lower mind, Uranus is the higher mind. And what it's saying is how you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel. Again, this can be, if we just talked about this, be mindful of your words, be mindful of what you're focused on, because you're really in this powerful creative life force. You're working with other people, you're collaborating, you're connecting, you're gritting, right? You're the architect of reality right now. So your words matter, literally, will come into form, will come into matter more, especially with Uranus in Taurus right now. So just be conscious of what you're thinking about, only focus on what you want, and discard other frequencies that don't belong to you. Alchemize it, catch it quicker, right? Being present. That's the energy that wanted to come through for you, Aquarius. And then my beautiful Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Beautiful Pisces, what energy, what do you need to know for the remainder of April going into May? Okay. Jeweled web connectivity. So Pisces, this is the 32, the 5. You are connected to everything, everyone. I'm thinking of the movie everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once, right? So you're being seen the connectivity, what I'm seeing for you is that spirit has you on a path. And whatever lights up your heart is going to light up the rest of the crystalline matrix for you. That's going to get you to your next connection point. So the more you can stay in your heart and your joy and your bliss and really just feeling like it's already there. I don't have to create anything. It's already created. I just have to vibrate at where it's already created and then I'm there. Right. And so you're starting to see really over these next 6 weeks, divine connections, synchronicities, aha, like spirit's going to really show you, wow, you didn't see how you were connected to this, but look at this and look how this is manifesting for you. So it's a really magical time right now, Pisces, for you. And so enjoy the jeweled web of connectivity. And the web, I'm thinking 8, 2. So the 5 and the 8, which is change. 8 is, I think, the spider web, which I'm thinking of the web of connectivity. So that might be working again for you with the infinity wave or the infinity image could help you feel that divine connectivity, knowing that everything is happening for you and that life is a robust, nothing but robust connections, right? Synopsis, I'm thinking mycelium, we're all connected. And the herb that can help you with that is Angel's Trumpet Death. So Angel's Trumpet here, if you look at this, there's like a treasure. I'm thinking of Pandora's box. And here's an angel that's bringing you all kinds of wisdoms. Death is not what we think. And you know this, Pisces. You rule the last sign of the Zodiac, which is where we go to, when we die, basically, we go into Pisces to go into the realms of oneness. And then we come back reincarnated through Aries, right? The child, the infant. So what you're being shown right now is there's a Pandora's box that's opening for you through your new connections. And once this box been open, things have to shift, things have to leave, things have to transform. But you know what? It's okay because you're being guided. It's ruled by the planet Pluto and Mars, which are co-rulers of Scorpio. So Pisces, you're going to be trining Scorpio energy, which right now we've got Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto rules Scorpio. And so what I'm seeing is that stepping into your scorpionic energy, letting things go, letting things be revealed, let that Pandora's box be open because it's happening for you. Death is not what we think. So there might be some aha connections, ways that you're perceiving reality that you never saw before, but it may create some sort of transformation, death. And so Angel's Trumpet, the herb, can be helping you during this transitory process, knowing that all is self, that you are connected to everything and everyone, but some things might have to transform the way you see things. Once a box or an awareness is open, nothing can be put back in the box, right? So new gifts are coming back online for you. I'm hearing too, just like latent gifts that you had that were stagnant in your 12th house, that were stagnant in your psyche and your consciousness, are going to come back alive because it's heralding the death of one reality and yet simultaneously the rebirth of another reality. So this might be something you want to consider, Pisces, as you're navigating these Taurus realms during this Taurus season about materiality. Let some stuff go. And then we've got Sagittarius that showed up for you, right? So this is higher learning. This energy imbues power, superior confidence, enthusiasm with faith, good fortune, and authority. So this is asking you, Pisces, too, that once you've opened that Pandora's box, once you realize you're connected to everything and all things, now it's time for you to share, right? Look at the arrow. It's like pointing, ascending upwards. So really focusing your light, Pisces, from the collective energies and pointing to truth. What is your truth, right? What feels true to you? Because what is true for you is true for the collective. And it doesn't have to be everybody's truth, but you're tapping into something really powerful, really transformative because you've allowed yourself to open up that Pandora's box, if you will, let things be revealed, dormant DNA that has been stagnant or just non-moving is going to be activated. And then Sag is saying, go share it. Go tell your philosophy, right? Bring it to the world because people need it. They need a different perspective. That's what everything is shifting right now is the higher mind. We all need to see things in a different periphery. So for you, Pisces, you're really going to be activated by opening that Pandora's box and seeing how you're connected to everything and allow yourself to be in that joy bliss state more and more, because that's what's going to connect you to the synchronicities more profoundly. And finally, from our little, Our little goddess here. Let's see what card is for you, Pisces. What word, what chakra point? Okay, time to get to work. This is the root. So if you've been considering starting that new project, and I'm looking at Sagittarius too, right? Time to teach something, time to get really focused on what it is you want to get to work. So is it working on your health? Where is Pisces in your chart? Where are these energies of the Pandora's box opening for you? Because again, I'm seeing dormant DNA, it's in the root system. So there's going to be new modalities that you're going to be working with, higher mind perspectives, right? Maybe even because it's Sagittarius, you might want to go back to school, go, higher education. What it is that you want to do to open that Pandora's box and to have a different perspective, because that's the connectivity that's where you're going to be having new connections within the mind and within your communities. So Pisces, this is a really potent time to get to work, time to get in your root and stay in your practice. Saturn has been in Pisces in your own sign for several years now, and it's having structure with your spiritual practice. So that's not been for nothing, Pisces. You're ready to expand and open up that Pandora's box. Thank you, everybody, if you're still here. Again, just put maybe gratitude in the comments if you're still here after this whole reading. I would love to see who is still hanging out, who is a vibrational match to this channel. If you're still here, thank you so much. Thank you for receiving. This was a lot of fun giving in this way. Again, I'm playing with the formats on how I want to share the energies with all these astrological signs. This is a lot of work, and this is me learning to hold the charge of energy while I'm transmitting and flowing with the currents that want to come through. And I'm so grateful that you're a vibrational match and you're here playing with me on these realms. So if you liked any of the content, if you found value, if you think your friends and family would like it, please hit like, subscribe, share, maybe put some energy in the comments about how this is reflecting for you. I so appreciate it. Really helps the channel grow, and it helps the consciousness expand, and it allows me to support myself so I can have more fun doing this and really anchoring into this. This is my passion, and this is how I want to serve. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. I love you. I hope these energies find you well, and I'll be seeing you in 6 weeks with another energy update. Okay.